Hello, Lombs.
Hey.
Lamborghini. What's up, dude?
How
You're the man.
you doing?
I'm doing great thanks to you and your team.
Hell yeah.
And your goalie. Your demigod of a goalie.
Say that again.
Your demigod of a goalie. Hey, before we get going, do you remember last year in Washington, D.C.? Dan, I'm going to do it. We shared a moment like right before we advanced. Actually, it was right before Washington hit an equalizer. You and I locked eyes, and you were like, let's effing go. And I was like, that's unique to me.
You're embarrassing.
No?
You're embarrassing.
I was there in D.C. and we locked eyes, and then we gave up the goal right away, but then after we won in overtime, you look back again, and he's like, I told you.
Uh-huh.
It was a moment for you, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We shared a moment, guys. Told you.
Love that.
Are you being polite, Lomberg? Or are you
Lomberg, tell us more about the moment.
Come on.
Please.
Give us.
No,
I
it's
lingered.
great. He's got great eyes. Great vibes.
It was in D.C.
Lombs.
Helped us get the win.
Yeah, that's what.
Team effort all the way around.
That's what I felt like, man. You're the best. Thank you for
Okay,
everything.
you're embarrassing me, and it's a delightful run, and we've all fallen in love with all of these people and their beards and their
And
insanity.
unfortunately, the market hasn't had too much of Lomberg this postseason because he's been battling through an injury. But even though Radko the Butcher looks the craziest, you ask all the teammates, they'll tell you Lombs is the craziest.
Yeah, I'm pretty crazy, no doubt. But between the Butcher and I, there's a lot of crazy to go around. So
Well, what does that mean, though? Can you explain it to us? You're crazy. Explain it to us.
I don't know. I guess the boys would just say I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You know, and in a lot of ways. You know, I really go off the other team how my crazy meter is, and you know the energy on our bench and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been going great so far.
What's the nicest thing you've said to an opponent during this playoff run?
Probably no nice things. Trying to think. Ranta, I politely told him to stay in his crease and not to come get the puck because I think it was last year I ran him over pretty good. So the game he was playing, I made sure to remind him not to come and touch the puck.
Are you guys proudly?
Especially myself. Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Okay. Well, but it's irritating, and I can't imagine that anyone enjoys playing against you. But I want to throw Mike Ryan's theory at you because this has been an amazing and historic run, and he doesn't think you guys are playing particularly well.
So you guys still have a higher ceiling. I don't think that you guys have actually turned it on to the level that you should. You're up 3-0 against Carolina right now.
You can't do better than that.
And
Mike.
I leave every game saying, like, that's not even our best game. We still have another gear to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say, I think, especially this time of year, you know, as long as you get the win and put that kind of win in your column, you know, it doesn't really matter how you get it done. You know, but I think, you know, you're kind of onto something as well as we're going. You know, there's definitely always room for improvement and mistakes happen as always. So, you know, there's definitely things that we can do to be better.
You're kind of an undersized guy for being this checking forward. You've added aspects to your offensive game. One of the things that I was really blown away by in watching yesterday's game super close up is a guy like Gustav Forsling, who's undersized, has to go for his entire 90-second shift out there on the ice. He has to move someone that is twice the size of him in Jordan Staal, and he's just out there battling, taking blows in the face. You can hear the blows from like 10 rows behind that Forsling just has to take the entire time that he's getting out there. How do your bodies feel carrying you measure up all right against some of these wingers, but Forsling in particular is so undersized compared to Jordan Staal. How does that body feel after an entire game?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think with Forsy specifically, he's a specimen. God, there's barely an ounce of fat on him. He's, you know, very well put together. He trains extremely hard. You know, he's always dialed in. You know, a guy like him, he's, you know, still to this point, I think super underrated. He's defensively, you know, amongst the tops in the league, you know, no doubt. And then as far as the battle of Stahl goes, I think he's got some some pretty good close comparisons to him, on our side, who he's been battling against all year in practice and stuff. So, obviously it's a little bit different from practice to game and the intensity and all that stuff, especially this time of year. But, luckily for us and Gustav, I think he's pretty well prepared.
Lomberg, did you spend any time with Koepka last night? Did you drink out of the Wanamaker trophy? What happened there?
No, I didn't. I saw him having a great time. Obviously he deserves it, fifth major. That's very impressive. But I told him I'll see him at the end of the road here and we'll celebrate together accordingly.
He was wearing your jersey, right?
Yeah. No, I appreciate the big dog for all the support. He, pretty cool to consider a guy like that a friend. It's a dream in itself. So, I've gotten pretty close with him and his buddies and the guy he rolls with. They're all great guys. So, I'm looking forward to it.
When Bobrovsky's going on a run like this, is this like kind of like in baseball when a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter? Like, are you guys talking to him before and after games right now, or are you just like letting him stay in his zone?
Yeah, the ball's in his court. If you're going to talk to him, you let him initiate the contact and all that stuff. I'm usually a pretty vocal guy and pumping guys up and encouraging guys and stuff like that. But I've definitely, tried to make the decision to stay out of his way as much as possible. So if I'm going to give him a shin pad tap, he's coming to me first.
I want to ask you a question that requires maximum honesty. 7 games before the regular season is over, I come to you and say, Bobrovsky, where's your faith in him? The honest answer is 7 games before the end of the regular season, when he's about to have his job taken from him and does have it taken from him for 7 games, your honest thoughts would have been blank.
We knew he was capable of this. We always have been. From the second I've stepped on the ice with him, I knew he was capable of this. So, it's amazing to see all his hard work paying off, but there's no surprise for the guys in that room.
You need to organize the team, okay? Because the next time Tkachuk wants to do a walk-off and get out of town, he can't be alone in the tunnel. You guys need to follow him. It's a great move. It's a walk-off goal in hockey, and yet he's the only one playing along. I need you to organize this because I want the entire team just to walk off the ice.
Yeah, the second time we were a little bit faster. The first time, I don't think anybody knew what to do. We were looking to celebrate. He was gone. We went to Bob. We just wanted to get home. Second time it was a little bit quicker, but third time's the charm for sure. So, he's, like Paulie said, he's a gamer. So if we're in that position again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the guy to do it. So stay tuned.
Can you articulate for us by just telling us what kind of tatters your teammates were in? What 4 overtimes of playoff hockey does to the human body? Can you articulate it in a way the layman would understand?
Yeah, it's a grind. It's like one of those things where, the second you disengage and, take the foot off the gas, so to speak, that could be the moment where, you give them the break and it's all over. So it's more mental than anything. You just kind of got to stay locked in and make sure, you're running your routes and get pucks out and get pucks in and really just let them make the mistake, because ultimately, usually in those games, I was joking around with Chucky, they're usually not toe drag top shelf goals. It's more so get the puck to the net and it hits somebody and in. But obviously he's a pretty special player, so we're happy he did it the way he did.
You didn't answer my question, though, of what the body feels like what a locker room's body feels like.
Man, did you read the quotes that we're having pizza and Red Bull before that 4th overtime? They're just built different.
The body's obviously tired, depleted. You're trying to get fluids in you as much as possible. But at the same time, we try to stay light, try to have fun. Ultimately that's kind of what gives us that other step and that extra little bit of gas in the tank is just staying light and having fun. But the body, if you're not having fun and you're thinking about how long this game's going, how late it is, and how early it was in the morning, for somebody who who isn't in that position to exert themselves like that, it's pretty intense and pretty hard. So I think the mental aspect is the thing that enabled us, to push our bodies along.
This Brent Burns on Carolina, he seems like a not nice guy. Is he as much of a jerk face as he looks?
Yeah, he's got that butcher caveman tough guy look for sure. He's obviously a tremendous player who's been doing it for a long time.
But a meanie, he's a meanie.
A jerk.
Yeah,
face. A jerk
he
face.
is for sure. So it's one of those things that you don't really want to poke the bear unless you have to. But he's been playing well, so we got to do a good job to contain him.
Locally, heat culture gets a lot, but the Florida Panthers have had to say goodbye to a lot of good players because of their cap situation, and they've had to call on a player like you who went undrafted, who really worked his way up to the professional ranks, and you've been here for 3 years, constantly improving, a fighter both on the ice and figuratively as well. Are you starting to feel this market come around to the sport? Because in your professional career, you are a Florida Panther. Like, that's what you're known for. You came up through this organization. They gave you the chance professionally. Is there an appeal to being a little bit more anonymous down here? Do some of the guys like that about Florida? Or are you all kind of hoping that this run will make for a crazier fan base?
Yeah, for sure. I think, winning, is obviously hugely important to growing the game. Like you said, you're under the microscope. The longer you go on, the less games, teams, and people there are to watch. So, you're under the microscope. So, as a group, we're tremendously proud to be able to grow the game down in South Florida. I think, the second I came down here a few years ago, I was caught by surprise how good the fans were, how knowledgeable they were. I was getting noticed in supermarkets, at the mall, and stuff like that. So, although it's not, markets like Toronto and Montreal and New York, stuff like that, I think I've been saying it from day one that, we definitely have one of the most underrated fan bases, maybe in all of sports, because, the fans always show up, they're always loud, they're always supportive. So very, very, very proud to, like you said, grow my game here, and truly thankful to be a Florida Panther.
Can you explain to us your level of surprise that the most electric offense in the history of regular season hockey was totally nuked after you guys lost to Tampa in the playoffs? And I don't think a lot of franchises would have done what this one did. I don't think a lot of leadership would have done what seems unthinkable to me. To take something that felt safe and fun and exciting and just say, bleep this, we're not going to do it anymore this way. Your thoughts were what when that news arrived at your doorstep?
Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy for sure. Obviously, like you said, getting rid of some really good players. But to bring a guy like Chucky into the mix, I was kind of, when it happened, I guess you could say that, we would win less regular season games, but more playoff games, and that's kind of exactly how it played out. So, in Billy, we trust. And, as long as I've been here, he's made some great moves. He brings in the right people. He's a very intelligent man. So, he definitely doesn't make moves like that lightly. He I would imagine, molded over time and time again. But, to see it paying off like it is right now, it's pretty cool to see. And I knew, Chucky would be, good all along, but, he's a pretty special player.
Do you have anywhere special the photo of the butcher screaming at Toronto's poor goalie Wall at the just screaming?
Or a photo of our eye contact in Washington, D.C. after you guys beat the Caps to make it to the second round for the first time.
That picture circulated in our group chat for a little bit there. It was funny. I think it was
The
the
one
day
with
or
me?
two after that. I saw a picture of it was a butcher screaming face cutout, and I think that wall guy got sent down for the American League playoffs, and one of the opposing fans brought it to the arena. So there's no escaping the butcher when you're on the list. So the nightmare lives on for that guy.
It's a good T-shirt. There's no escaping the butcher. Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate your time, sir.
I love you.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much. I love you too, man. I'll stop.
he
loves you too.
He loves you. He loves you too.
You had a moment.
Until next time, all right?
Yeah.
See you later, Ryan. Thank you, sir.
See you,
All right,
Ryan.
guys. Thank you again.
All right, man.
Lombs.